Hi, I'm Tammy.
And I'm Rebekah.
And we are a Chick That Knits hand-dyed yarn company. Are back here on YouTube. I started my YouTube channel 4 or 5 years ago. I wanted to do a diary of how to start a hand-dyed yarn business. And you can go watch those old videos. They're pretty rough and funny. But anyway, so what happened was March of 2020 happened that changed the entire world. And the crafting industry blew up and my business blew up. And I outgrew my home and I needed to go find a dye studio somewhere. And if I wanted a dye studio where I had to pay money to rent, I wanted a retail front. So I went and I opened up a Chick That Knits hand-dyed yarn store. And we blew up immediately. We were very successful the moment I opened my doors. And it just took all my time. I didn't have time to come on and record it anymore. So it turns out this summer my lease was up for renewal and I went ahead and I closed that yarn store down. We were doing really good, we were super successful, but that was my problem. I hand dye all the yarn and managing the yarn store, I couldn't handle both, and so I closed the yarn store. And I brought Rebekah with me. So Rebekah is, she is a Chick That Knits also. She helps me dye yarn, we come up with color collections together, everything I do, she does. So now it should be Chicks That Knit instead of a Chick That Knit. I may change that later, we'll see. But anyway, we wanted to come since we shut the yarn store down. We really miss interacting with our community, our customers, our fiber friends, our yarn lovers. We're in the house now and we work here all the time. So we wanted to come back to you, share our projects with you, have you share your projects with me. As far as hand dyeing yarn, I love that process, but I think what I love even more is when you come to me and you go, look what I made. That is the most rewarding thing for me, is seeing your projects with the yarn that you made and your artistry and your creations. All our yarn is a tool for you to use for your creativity. And I love it, absolutely love it when people share their projects with me. So we're going to come on here and we're going to get our YouTube channel back up and running. We have some things to share with you today. Some works and projects, some finished objects, what we're doing. This is December. What date is it, Rebekah?
Today is the 14th, but you're going to see it on the 15th.
Yeah, so it's December 15th of 2023. And we're winding down the year. We're getting, every year I close from Christmas to New Year's. We take that week off. I did it when we when we ran the store, we took that week off so we could rest and renew and all that. So we're just kind of winding down for the year end. And you are in what you see behind us. This is a Chick That Knits studio. It's in my garage. So I've completely taken over the garage. Those are our dyes behind us. We dye the yarn over here. And this is our desk where we work and work on our computer and things like that. So welcome to our studio. And we're going to do some show and tell.
What are you wearing today?
So what we're doing right now is we have some yak blends. If you haven't tried yak blend yarns, you really need to. Rebekah and I are both wearing it. This is a wool and pine design.
Is it called Wild Wind?
It's called Wild Wind, thank you. So I kind of have a big belly, so I wear shirts that, kind of have an empire waist that flatter my belly, but I like these little crop tops because look how cute that is. So yeah, but this is made out of our yak blend. It's got 80% merino.
Our kitty's winning in, so I will be right back.
So I have a kitty cat, and we have a screen door right there, and she crawls up the door and peeks in with her little ears over the top and meows to be let in. So Layla is wanting in. That's one of my job responsibilities is Layla doesn't use the litter box. She is potty trained to go outdoors, and so about 10 times a day, we're all letting Layla in and out of the house. That's what we do.
It's Layla's world and we live
yes.
in it.
Yes. But this is our yak blend. So it is, I think it's 80% merino.
I think it's 70% merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon.
Yeah. It's incredibly soft, guys. Who knew yak had such soft wool? But so I'm wearing yak, and Rebekah.
This is the Salty Ear Tee by Samantha Guerin. This is in, I think, our Country Girl colorway. There's no longer any in stock, but there are still plenty of colors in stock.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pans on the burners getting ready to be made of yak. So we're going to finish that up. We're going to put that in the shop, and it's just lovely. The next project I want to make are some fingerless gloves out of yak. Oh, it's just gorgeous. So this is our yak blend. If you haven't tried yak, there's 2 kinds. There's the merino yak blend, which you could make for socks. You can make anything you want for it. Like I said, this is a lacy little crop top. But then there's a yak and silk blend. And it's 50% yak and 50% silk. I currently don't have any because it's pretty pricey. And I have learned when I have brought in the luxurious, really expensive bases that start around $40 or more, they don't sell as well because they are really expensive. But this is the merino yak blend, which is affordable, and it just makes a lovely, lovely top. Okay.
Do you want to talk about Bev's top next, since
Yes.
we have it?
So I have, since doing the hand-dyed yarn journey, I have made a lot of fun, cool friends that absolutely are nuts over yarn and knitting and crochet. And my friend Bev, Rebekah does all of our editing, all of our posting. She's the magic behind everything that we put out. And I'm going to put a picture right here of Bev. Hi, Bev. I hope she watched this. I know she'll watch this. But Bev knits constantly. She's an attorney and she works from home, but while she's at home, she's constantly knitting. So she cranks out stuff all the time. And this is her latest. Oh my gosh, look how pretty it is. Now I'm an autumn, so I look good in different colors, and Bev is a winter. So Bev looks good in these bright colors. But this is the Alpine Bloom in our Wildflowers colorway. The pattern calls for spin cycle yarns. Well, you don't have to do everything the pattern says. Patterns are suggestions. You can substitute and you can create and you can do anything you want. And so what we've done is we've used a variegated colorway called Wildflowers. Oh, isn't that beautiful? The greens and pinks and blues with Admiral, a tonal colorway. Anytime I make a variegated colorway, I create tonals that coordinate and go with it. So this is the Alpine Bloom. Let me let you look at that again, how pretty that is. Ah, gorgeous. Oh wait, it's on my eyes. I can't see, but I think you probably saw that well. And then this, Rebekah, you talk about this.
So this is also Wildflowers. This is on our DK base. Let's see. Oh, let's see if it'll focus. There we go.
There we go.
This is an Oslo hat. This is for one of my friends. She has a baby who's about 7 months old. I'm going to have lunch with her tomorrow, so I thought it would be fun just to knit her up a cute little hat. Yep, we made the little pom-pom. Yep, this is an Oslo hat by Petite Knit. Super quick, super easy. It has this folded brim, and some people get tripped up on this little part here, the pearl part, but it's super simple. There's plenty of tutorials out on YouTube. It's really fun. And it's a quick, great gift.
Now that pearl's kind of hidden, isn't it, when you've got the cuff up? Does that just hold the cuff up?
Mm-hmm. It just adds a little bit more stability to it and a little bit more comfort.
Yeah. So this is Wildflowers just by itself, and then this is Wildflowers combined with a tonal. Both are gorgeous.
Well, we have another Wildflower sample, but different.
Yeah. So because this was so pretty, so another thing that has kind of changed my life in the last few years, I had a lady, her name was Marla. Hi Marla, if you see this. Beautiful knitter, by the way. She comes in with the most gorgeous projects. Well, she came in the store and she said, do you have any yarn that pulls? And I told her, well, I do my very best to prevent that from happening. When I dye yarn, I don't like yarns that pull and give you weird spots everywhere and blends. So the way I dye yarn, my variegateds look like this. So you're not going to get a blob of blue or a blob of pink. It's just going to be an all over color. So anyway, Marla comes in the shop and she says, do you have any yarns that pull? And I said, no, I try really hard to prevent that from happening. She says, well, I'm looking for some assigned pulling yarn to make this float shawl by Dawn Barker. Would you please make this for me? And so that's how I was introduced to assigned pulling yarn. Marla, thank you. So I started doing assigned pulling yarn, and Dawn Barker, she's so kind and nice guy. She does a tutorial. She tells dyers, this is how you do it. This needs to be solid. This portion needs to be colored. Well, I take it a step further. I'm very boho. And I like flowers, so put me in a field of flowers, and I'm super happy. So her float shawl looks like a bunch of organic flowers on a shawl. I really like Monet paintings also, so that inspires me into how I dye yarn. And so the Wildflowers was so pretty, I made an assigned pulling version of it. So this is the beginning of the float shawl. Let me see if that'll... How do I hide my face?
Now my face is okay.
All right, hopefully you got to see that really well. But anyway, so it's made to where I do a base of a solid color, and then I take the skeins out of the pots and I hand paint them to look like flowers. So each flower bud is a little different. You'll have white, light pink, dark pink, a little green for like the leaf of a flower. So that's how I make my assigned pulling, and it's super, super popular to where 80% of my sales now are assigned pulling yarns. I think this is here to stay. Dawn Barker is the mother of assigned pulling. I just adore her. She's a really sweet lady. I met her at the Dallas-Fort Worth Fiber Festival this year. And if you want to go to her website, it's called Barker Wool, B-A-R-K-E-R, barkerwool.com. And she has many, many patterns that work with assigned pulling yarn. And another thing you can do is you can go to Ravelry, Ravelry.com, and they have a search bar for patterns, and you can put in assigned pulling, and a ton of assigned pulling projects will come up. And crocheters, one of my customers created a crochet version. So it's the Crochet Bouquet, and we'll put all these titles down in our description. She has a crochet version of a floral type shawl like that. So you can go to Ravelry.com, pull up assigned pulling, and see a whole bunch of pattern ideas. And another thing that happened when I opened my yarn store that I found really interesting was how many people walked in the store and they have never heard of Ravelry. No clue what it was. So Ravelry.com is an online website where crocheters, where knitters, where weavers, anybody that likes yarn related hobbies. It has designers that put out patterns. You can build your own diary, kind of, to where you can put your project on there. You can put what yarns you used, what colors you used, and then say, let's just say I want to make the Alpine bloom and I want some ideas on what to do. So you can go to Ravelry, type in Alpine blue, and there's probably 1,000 people that have made this project. And you can just see what they've done for yarns and colors, get some ideas, get some inspiration. So you can have a little diary of your projects, which help other makers create. It's a wonderful, wonderful website.
Yeah, if I am wanting to make a pattern and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if this is going to be pretty in this color of yarn, I go and look and see if other people have made it. And if I see the color, well, then I know.
Yeah, so it did. It shocked me. I mean, I bet more than half the people that came in had never heard of Ravelry. I was just, what?
But also speaking of assigned pulling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait till you see this.
Let's see. It's all folded up.
Layla wants out again. I'll be right back.
I am working on a design. I don't have a name for it yet, but this is using our lemon tree color and river rock. So there's the sprout stitch here. That's just knit 3 together, yarn over, and knit through those same 3 stitches. And then a y'all. Sometimes I have a hard time saying certain words together. Brioche section afterwards. But
twister.
I don't have a name for it yet. So if you help me come up with a name in the comments, we will gift you this pattern once it's released.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be gorgeous. Look at it.
I would say I'm about a quarter of the way through.
I haven't seen it. She's, last time I saw it, we were like maybe here. Mm-hmm. Wow, that is so pretty. This is called Lemon Tree. Looks like little lemons with river rock, which is a dark medium gray.
But it's going to be really fun. Once it blocks out, you'll be able to see the gray a little bit more. Mm-hmm. You can see it now, but...
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sure she didn't brag about herself, but Rebekah's incredibly smart. So I went to a store one time. I wanted to learn brioche, and so I went to the local yarn store, paid $35 for the class, sat in a class, and I left the class thinking, well, I'm just not smart enough to figure out brioche. It's beyond me. I can't do it. So I left just thinking it's too hard. I can't do it. Well, Shelly Brander is the host of Knit Stars, and that's another thing that surprised me was people hadn't heard of Knit Stars. And I'm like, what? You haven't heard of Knit Stars? But Knit Stars is an online, Shelly comes out once a year. She brings out all these designers, and they will teach you something. Well, the first year of Knit Stars, Shelly had Stephen West out, and he taught how to brioche. And once you buy that, I don't know how much it is now, but back then it was around $200. There were maybe 8 teachers. It's like going to your own fiber festival with other yarn people. It's just a wonderful thing, but you own it. So I can go back and reference anything. And so Rebekah wanted to learn brioche. I said, you got to watch Stephen West. He teaches you. I learned it in 5 minutes from Stephen West off of Knit Stars. Remember, I had gone to a class, one-on-one personal training. I didn't get it, but I watched 5 minutes of Stephen West and got it. Rebekah did the same thing. Mm-hmm. She watched Stephen West on Knit Stars, learned brioche at the snap of a hat, and she's like, I'm going to go design it. She wasn't like that, but I'm making fun of her a little bit. But she's like, I'm going to go design a pattern. And that's what she designed. 5 minutes of watching brioche, and boom, 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 she's out creating a pattern. She's so smart and talented. I just love her.
Well, I will say this. It's a very simple brioche pattern. There's not a whole bunch of increases or decreases. Let me get the phone. I will be back.
So where were we?
Let's talk about Advents.
Okay.
We're in the middle of Advent season right now. It's, what did we say? Today's the 14th, so we're over halfway through. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to show mine first, or do you want to show yours first?
Well, let me tell you, I'll tell you, so when I first started dyeing yarn, like I said, I got kind of big right away, and someone asked me, would you make an Advent? I didn't know what one was. So if you don't know what an Advent is, it's, we just never celebrated them, we didn't buy them, but I guess a regular Christmas Advent is filled with toys or candy, to where you go open on December 1st, you open a little box that says December 1st, and it's a piece of candy or whatever. Well, we do yarn, mini yarn. So when you go to December 1st, you get a mini skein. When you go to December 2nd, you get another mini skein. Every day until you get to Christmas Day. And then on Christmas Day, it's the full-size skein, or there's just
another
25 minis. You know, hand dyers do it different. Some people only do 12 days of Christmas. I do the whole 25. And I always put a gift in there. So you don't know what your gift is, but I'm going to put something special in there from me to you to say thank you. But anyway, we've opened up, we filled all our yarn Advent orders, and they were so pretty, we each wanted one ourselves. So we've started the Advents too. So this is Rebekah's.
Well, let's back up for a second. This was the gift for this year.
Yeah.
It's a cute little tote bag with our logo on it.
Now, I had an artist. Rebekah Marshall is the artist. She does chicken art. You can look her up too. And she drew my beautiful, fluffy, red-laced Wyandotte chicken.
But I am doing the Sleigh All Day wrap by Lofty Loops. And I am on day 13. So I'm a few days behind, but I'll get caught caught back up this weekend.
How
So
beautiful it is.
down on Tammy's end is day 1.
So day 1.
And then it goes a lacy section, brioche. There's 6 or 7 different types of sections, but the lacy, then this one here, another brioche, more. But, oh, we also have a full skein included for this year. So if you look, the green in this brioche section, gosh, I can't say that word today, has some sparkle to it.
Yeah, and look, so the green is the big one. So the pink is the little. So the green is kind of
It goes throughout the whole entire wrap.
There's the green. There's the green. Neither one of us can talk today. So yeah, isn't this beautiful? Who designed this?
Lofty Loops. I forget her name.
Good job, Lofty Loops. This is gorgeous.
But it's been a lot of fun.
It's almost halfway done. And this year I did a fade. Last year you could pull out, they weren't numbered at all. You could pull one out and no matter what order you pulled it out, it would look good. This year I made it a fade so they were numbered. So, and you don't have to do a fade. You can do whatever you want. You're the creator. I'm just provide the paint palettes for you. But this year it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to do a fade.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun so far.
This is really pretty. Now, I didn't want to be left behind. Goodness, I used to tell my customers I should be called the chick that used to knit because I was so busy with dyeing the yarn and
What you got going on here?
the store was so successful. So this is a long shawl scarf. 360 stitches on here. So instead of doing it lateral, I'm doing it horizontal. But see, mine's a little different. Mine started with yellow. Yeah. So you've got yellow that goes into pink, that goes into coral, that's going to go into orange and end up from light to dark. So we've got a light base headed into a really deep dark color. So people haven't gotten to the dark colors yet.
Do you remember what pattern this is?
We're so bad. We didn't prepare. I don't have notes.
It's an Ambah.
It's an Ambah O'Brien, and again, Ravelry.com is your friend. You can go into Ravelry.com, and under the pattern search, type in Advent patterns, or just put Advent, and thousands of patterns will come up that are geared towards Advents to use multiple minis and things like that. But this is one of Ambah O'Brien's. Her sample is dark and moody, where mine's really light, but just wait. So we're both working on our Advents. I didn't plan on doing one this year.
I didn't either.
But after we packed up all your Advents, we were like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I want to do one. She's like, me too. So
Because
yeah.
I don't have enough projects going
I know.
on. But speaking of enough projects, I have a finished sock. Just started the second one yesterday. But this is using our Tweed base. This is Admiral, the deep color, like Bev's top, and then caramel for the heels, toes, and then some stripes in the cuff.
I love this. Isn't that pretty? She's making this for her boyfriend, Josh.
He's so spoiled. But this is our Tweed base. We still have a few skeins left, and I want to show you another Tweed sample. I made this for DFW Fiber Fest this year. This is the Traveler's Cardigan by Ozetta in our colorway Heather. Again, there's still a few left in the shop, so be sure to go over to the website and get it before it sells out.
I bring the Tweed in for the fall and winter, and I know it's December. We've got 2 more months of winter going on, but when you're a hand dyer, you're kind of a season ahead. So we're starting to think of spring and summer. So yeah. What did we say today was December 13th?
14th.
December 14th. We have a year-end clearance sale coming up, and so be sure and check the website at chickthatknits.com. And we're a Chick That Knits with a Z, not an S. So, yeah. Let's see. Here, I've got one more thing to show you. This is the Smilga shawl, and it's made of our yak. So this color right here is the natural yak color. It's not white like wool, it's this taupey gray colorway. And so anything that we dye on it is going to come into a dark, rich, deep saturated color. You're not going to get light pink or light yellow or a light purple on this because it's naturally dark. So anytime you put color on it, it's going to appear a little bit darker. But oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. This color is the yak, and I called it Let Me Count the Ways. So how do I love thee? Well, let me count the ways. That's how much I love this color. It's just gorgeous. It's a dark jewel teal tone.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see, I have 2 more projects. If you can't tell, I need a lot to keep me interested, and sometimes the projects just sit in the bag for a while. But which one should I show next?
That one.
This one?
I got excited.
Okay. Let's go back a second. I started knitting last July, so I've been knitting for about a year and a half. And I just picked it up because I was tired of, scrolling on my phone all evening. I needed something to do after work, and so I just picked it up. I was like, you know what? I've been crafty. I want to learn something new, so I picked up knitting. So all of that to say, this is my first color work pattern, and I am very excited. It's on a try-on tube right now, but this is the Sheep Camp by Jennifer Berg. It's a beautiful color work pattern, and here I'll show you my floats.
That's the inside out.
And this is on our Grove colorway and Celery. This is a DK weight pattern. I'm hoping to pick this back up on our Christmas break and hopefully finish it by the time you see us again. We'll see.
Yeah. So I dyed yarn our yarn store was just a chick that knits yarn. And so I had to fill up a 3,000 square foot yarn store with our yarn. So I had a ton of yarn available. But since we closed the store down and I've come back home, I don't have the space to have that type of inventory anymore. And so we kind of have to redo things a little bit different. And so we're going to collections. So what we're showing you, the
Wildflowers.
The Wildflowers, the Admiral, the Grove, the Celery, those are new colors that are coming out. We'll debut them in January. Like I said, we're gearing down for our break for the end of the year, but in January we're going to come back really strong and show you all our new colors. So what we're showing you right now are some of our new colors that are coming out.
A little bit of an exclusive sneak peek, if you will.
Yeah.
So this is my Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. I have not kept up, obviously. We're in the middle of December. I should have been done with it a long time ago, but I got distracted and wanted to cast on a few new other things. So, let's see.
Isn't that pretty?
I'm on the middle of section 3 right now.
Look at that. I love ooh. Purple and green. I love it.
So let's see. We'll start down here. This right here is Celery. If you can't tell, I like green. This is the Shire. This is the Wizard. And this is Eggplant. So if you can't tell, I did a couple modifications. Instead of just a plain garter center, I did garter, and then once it blocks out, you'll be able to see it a little bit more, but some eyelets. And then on section 2, I did the Mohair Dare on our brushed cashmere in the colorway Autumn. And then I also added some baubles, just to add some more visual interest. So hopefully, again, this will be done by the next time you see it, and it'll be a finished object.
See, patterns are suggestions. It's like, here we've put this out, but use your own creativity, bring your own ideas, and switch it up a little. I love Stephen West. He really encourages that.
Yeah. Well, that's all the projects I brought today. I still have some at home, but that's all I brought today.
Yeah. So we're back on YouTube, guys. We plan on uploading bi-weekly every other Friday. And we're just bringing you things that are going on. We might dye together a few times, see our pretty projects. And we'd like you to be involved with us and share with us and maybe give us some color ideas, share your patterns. We want to get you involved. So Rebekah is designing that brioche shawl with the lemon tree yarn. And if you would comment down below your suggestion what that pattern should be, you're going to win a prize. So get involved, give us a comment, say hello. And we're back on YouTube, babe.
We'll see you in the new year.
See ya. Bye-bye.